Welcome to Shanwei. This is a small coastal town just beside Shenzhen. When I did research online, it said that this place was a failed special economic zone, a failed sister city to Shenzhen, and on top of all of that, a failed tourist attraction. Basically, everything about this city was supposed to be bad. So when I saw all that, I decided I have to come visit this place for myself and see what's really going on here. With over 300 kilometers of coastline, rich seafood, and some unique moments in history, this might sound like your ideal tourist destination. However, when it comes to China's coastal towns, this is one you've probably never heard of, especially when compared with popular destinations like Shenzhen or Sanya. According to some, this city was built with the idea that if you build the attractions, the people will come. But walking through these streets today, it feels like something is missing. Tourist attractions like this castle-shaped cafe look more like props than destinations. Wide open plazas sit empty. The infrastructure is here, the hotels, the beachside promenade, but where are the people? So Shanwei is divided into two different areas. You've got the main city area, and then maybe like a 30-40 minute drive away from the main city, you have the more touristy area, which is more very beach style town. I went there yesterday. I'm gonna put that area in the end of the video because honestly I think it's quite a bit more interesting than the main city over here. Also, just so you know, I've got the gloves on because I've burned my hands really bad yesterday. Yesterday was amazing. That was one of the best adventures I've had through China so far. So stay tuned for that part of the video that will come up soon. So this morning I'm heading out to find some changfen. I saw this shop on Dianping that looks really good. It's got like a very soupy looking changfen. As I pass through the streets of Shanwei City, the pace of life feels noticeably slower. The streets are narrow and intimate. They're woven between aging storefronts and newly constructed towers. You get the sense that this is a place where tradition still holds a weight. Locals go about their day at a rhythm that hasn't quite caught up with the rush of modern China. But change is creeping in. It's not the breakneck transformation of Shenzhen, but it's enough to reshape daily life in subtle, visible ways. So this place is called Shengwang Changfen Dian. Honestly, they have a lot of changfen places, so I don't know if this one's the best, but it looks pretty good and has high reviews. Wow, guys, I don't think I've ever seen a changfen quite like this. This changfen is only 10 RMB, so slightly less than 2 USD, and the portion size is huge. Wow, it's got such fresh ingredients in it. I've never had one with like so many bean sprouts, onions, and chives like this. This is really quite unique. It's got a lot of stuff in it. It's got a little bit of a kick to it, but not bad at all. Of all the changfen shops that I've been passing around here over in Shanwei, his is probably the busiest one. He had customers coming in and out, people coming in to pick up orders, and after trying it, I can see why he's so popular. It was one of the best changfen I've ever had. Well guys, I don't have much time. I only have like maybe 30 minutes before I need to head back to the hotel, grab my things, and head to the high-speed rail station. I wanted to come check out the coastal area real quick before I depart. Once you get over here, you'll see that there's so many different fishing boats. I think just like many other coastal communities in China, fishing is an integral part of life, or used to be at least for many people back then. Today, it's probably a minority of the people here that are still fishermen. While Shanwei City may not have been too unique, the true highlight of my journey is what happened during the day prior. So I've just called a taxi. We're gonna go head over to the beach, the coastal area. Just about 30 minutes away from the Shanwei high-speed rail station, I reached one of the most unique Chinese coastal towns I have ever been to. So here in the coastal and touristy section of Shanwei, this is actually my first day in the city. And I just want to say the vibe here is completely different than what I was expecting. Like, I don't feel like I'm in China. Walking around here makes me feel like I'm in a coastal town of California. So it looks like they have a lot of little city bikes here. I wonder if I can rent these. 你好，这里可以租电动车吗？
对啊，可以租电动车。
好的，多少钱一天？
一天是88，你可以扫码吗？
可以啊。
可以，你扫码看一下。
好。
你看，如果不能扫码的话，我就给钥匙给你。
哦，好的好的。
你会开车吗？
会。
选这个
24个小时，
当天的。对，你要到晚上10点前还车。对。
好的。
88，对。
Okay, all right. I think I got this. This is pretty easy. Similar to the Meituan ones. They got a few more buttons on here though. I don't know what they were talking about when they said that this place was a failed tourist attraction. I mean, it is pretty empty, and it was not the most convenient to get here, but honestly, I think this place might have been worth it. Now that my mode of transportation has been established, I'm riding through this colorful city to reach what some consider to be the most popular destination in Shanwei. So I've just ridden over to Shanwei's supposed most famous attraction. They call this the Coffee Castle. This was supposedly built in the early 2000s as a big tourist attraction, but I guess it didn't draw in the crowds that they were hoping it would. So I kind of see why it might not be that popular. I just walked through the castle wall, and on the other side, you can see that it's just a single wall that they've built. But over here, they do have sort of like an industrial style coffee shop. I think that's probably a better attraction than the wall itself. To be honest, though, it is a pretty photogenic area. It's about 2 o'clock now, and it is scorching hot. The sun is really bright here for some reason. It's pretty crazy. Well, I'm about to take my rental scooter out from, oh, that's not mine. But over here, there's a bunch of motorcycles. I think these are the Chinese brands that I've been interested in for a little bit. So this brand here is a Benda, and I think pretty sure this is a Chinese brand. Not too sure about this middle one here, but this is also a Benda. These bikes, I think, are only a couple $1,000s. They're really cheap, and I really want to get one. But I guess if you want to drive a motorcycle in China, you have to find a city that allows it, because not everywhere in China allows motorcycles these days. And for now, this will have to do with me. My motorcycle that's capped at 25 kilometers per hour. So basically, I'm taking the scooter over to an island called Windmill Island. They call it Windmill Island. Well, I think it's obvious why they call it Windmill Island. Really great views on the way over to the island. A lot of sandy beaches. They have a bridge that goes from the mainland over to the island side. Anyway, yeah, so a lot of interesting sights that you can see over here. Basically, since it's so hot, I'm kind of just going from drink spot to drink spot right now. Right behind me, there's another coffee shop or cafe. I think I'm gonna go check this out real quick and get a drink. If you come travel around China, probably your best resource for finding interesting places is Xiaohongshu or Red Note. Basically, all the places that I'm hitting up today are all just Red Note locations. So most of them, I think what you'll find when you get there, they're all like photogenic places, or like if people built them specifically to be Instagrammable or Xiaohongshuable, Red Noteable, whatever. So here you've got this coffee shop called Looking Float. We'll go check it out in a second. Getting thirsty again, honestly. This place has some of the best beaches I've ever seen in all of China. You know what I'm thinking is, if the definition of a failed tourist zone means that there's less people, I kind of like it, because sometimes when you go to places in China, there's just so many people. Like if you go to those big tourist areas like Xi'an, Beijing, even in Guangdong, there's so many people. It gets so packed sometimes. I kind of got a little worried that, you won't be able to find more calm places in China where you can just kind of go on a trip and, just relax and not worry too much about people. But this is a great destination, Shanwei. There's not too much English, maybe not the most foreigner-friendly place of China. Not gonna find too many foreign foods, but if that's something that you can get around, honestly, this is a perfect place to come visit in China. They have a lot of great homestays. You do need to check, make sure that they accept foreigners, but other than that, it's a nice place. I really like this area. So this is why they call this place Windmill Island. It's insane how massive that windmill is. I don't know if you can pick it up from the audio, but basically every time one of the blades like passes down by the ground, you can hear it cutting the air. It's kind of a very unique sound that's kind of hard to explain. This island has several of these windmills around it. This whole area, there's like one here and then there's several down that direction. But I think this might be the only one that we can get this close to, I think. So basically motorcycled back to the main town at this point. I don't think you guys realize how slow this thing is. Like, I'm getting passed by kids on bicycles. I've seen other rentals and they're pretty fast. Like, other people are passing me on this. So this thing, I don't know. It's all right though. Gets me where I need to be and I'm happy. All right, so at this point, yeah, I'm just gonna go explore the town a little bit more. See what there is to see over here. See, I don't know what to think here, you guys. This is one of the craziest places I've been to in China. Not in terms of like bad, but it just, you know, I've never seen a place like this in China before. This just might be one of the most chillest beach towns I have ever been to. Up along the water here, there's so many cafes and bars. They're playing a lot of like Western music and I feel like the vibes are honestly unmatched. And then over here along the water, there's a whole bunch of different street foods that are out here. And I already see something that I'm gonna try later today. It looks like popiah, which is a dish that I found in Malaysia. It does originate in China, so this might be the original version. I'll have to give this a try and compare it and see if it's any different or any better or worse than the ones that I found back in Malaysia. Shanwei 刨冰就是这里的特色吗？
对，
多少钱
20。
？20。
对。
So this dish here is called Shanwei baobing. I looked it up. It is somewhat similar to popiah. They share a common ancestor. However, the way that this dish is made here is a little bit different, and it has to do with the ingredients that they put inside. So with popiah, they put like ikma or some type of vegetable in there, some root or something. But this one actually has seafood in it. So this one has like shelled shrimp, like these crunchy dried shelled shrimp that he mixed together with bean sprouts, cabbage, and basically fried it all together. This is interesting. It almost has like a certain sweetness to it. I wasn't expecting that. I definitely do taste a little bit of like shrimpiness to it, but it's not too strong. They have small pieces of lapchang in there, and so that's what's giving it a little bit of sweetness. You can see this thing is filled with veggies, lapchang, egg, bean sprouts. It is a little similar actually. And if I remember correctly, the taste is somewhat similar as well. Different, but I can see the relation. Now I know I don't have to go all the way to Malaysia to get my popiah craving. I can just go about 1 hour to the east of Hong Kong and I'll find a similar, equally as good tasting dish. Anyway, this has been an incredible adventure the last day and a half in Shanwei. I think I've said it multiple times, but I think this place is definitely not a failed tourist attraction, not a failed city. Maybe it's not the best or most developed city in China, definitely not even as developed as Guangdong, which I think was my previous video, but it's still a remarkable place. Something that I've been finding recently is that I actually kind of like these smaller Chinese cities than I do the bigger ones. Maybe I'm just getting old and I can't handle the excitement as much anymore. If you have made it this far and you enjoyed watching the video, it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to my channel. I've put a lot of effort into filming and growing this channel over the last year. If you guys have any feedback for me, let me know down in the comments. Anyway, with all that said, I will see you in the next one.